Back in the mid-1800s, Michigan's Upper Peninsula went through kind of a copper boom. Now, immigrants from all over the world came looking for work, including those from Cornwall, England. And the Cornish brought their huge meat-filled handheld pies with them down into the mines. Now, no hard hat necessary today. Christie's going to make it a lot easier on us, and we're going to make pasties at home.
We are.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with a really wonderful, rich, supple dough that's just perfect for all kinds of savory tarts and pies.
Great.
And the key to that is starting with sour cream.
Okay.
So I have 2/3 of a cup of sour cream here, and I'm going to add 1 large egg. By mixing the sour cream and the egg together, we have a lot of moisture, but not a lot of water. So it's going to incorporate in the dough a lot more easily, and we're not going to get a tough dough.
Nice.
I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, that's 15 ounces, and I'm going to add 1 3/4 teaspoons of salt.
Okay.
That sounds like a lot, but we want this to be nice and savory to balance the filling.
Got it.
We're just going to process this for a few seconds to make sure it's nice and combined. Now we need to add some butter.
Okay.
I have 16 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I'm going to give this about 10 pulses. I'm looking for the butter to break down but still be in pea-sized pieces.
Okay.
So we can still see some pieces in there. Now we'll add some of our liquid ingredients, but I'm only going to add about half of this right now. And we just want to combine this, so we'll pulse it about 5 times.
Okay.
Now we'll add the other half of the sour cream mixture. All right, now we want this fully combined. This is going to be about 15 more pulses. That's great. So you can see we have some good clumps going on. I'm going to flour my counter just a little bit, and we'll transfer it out. So we'll just bring this all together. We want about a 6-inch disc, which is perfect. And we'll just wrap this in some plastic wrap. All right, so we did work the gluten. We want to give it a chance to rest, so we'll put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Bridget, it's time to start on the filling.
Great.
So I have a tablespoon of unsalted butter melting in my 10-inch skillet over medium heat. I'm going to add 1 finely chopped onion.
Okay.
I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of table salt.
Okay.
We'll cook this until the onions have softened. It'll take about 5 minutes. So rutabaga is a great root vegetable. We only need 10 ounces, so I'm going to cut this in half.
Okay.
So we're going to peel this. Now, I want to cut this into 1/2-inch pieces. Now let's get back to the onions. Nice and softened. I turned my heat down a little bit. So now I'm going to add a tablespoon of minced thyme, fresh thyme, and 2 garlic cloves that I've minced. And we'll just cook these until we can start to smell them, about 30 seconds. I think we're good here.
Okay.
Now I am going to turn off my heat, and we'll just let this cool for about 5 minutes while we get the rest of our ingredients ready.
Great.
So the star of this meat pie is beef. We're actually using skirt steak. So this is 1 1/4 pounds of skirt steak, which is just gorgeous.
It sure is.
And I'm just going to trim it a little bit. So we're going to cut this also into 1/2-inch pieces.
Okay.
Now we're all ready to mix everything together. We have our skirt steak fully prepped. We have our cooled onion mixture. Smells so good.
It does.
Now our rutabaga. And then we have another hearty root vegetable. We've got some russet potatoes. So this is 10 ounces of russet potato that I've also peeled and cut into 1/2-inch pieces. So I have 2 teaspoons of table salt and 3/4 of a teaspoon of pepper.
Okay.
And we'll give this a mix. So we've got a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. We'll scatter that over everything. All right, so that looks pretty well combined. I don't see any dry bits of flour. I'm going to measure kind of heaping cups of the filling. Now we're portioned, we're going to clean up, and then we can start rolling out our pastry.
Fabulous.
At Cooks Illustrated, we're food nerds. That's why every recipe we develop involves research, cooking science, and rigorous testing by our team of expert test cooks. Only the highest rated recipes earn a place in our award-winning magazine. Every issue features our latest recipes and discoveries, cooking tips, and equipment and ingredient reviews. Our step-by-step photos and hand-drawn illustrations show you exactly how to succeed. So, are you ready to become the best cook you know? Subscribe to Cooks Illustrated magazine at cooksillustrated.com today.
Bridget, our dough's been chilling for 30 minutes.
Nice and firm?
Yes, and so it's time to get started working with it.
Great.
So I'm going to try to cut this into 6 perfect portions, but we can also pop it on the scale just to double check our math. So we have about 5 ounces each. So this is for you.
Oh, okay, great.
We'll do these one at a time, and I'll keep the rest kind of covered. Let's move over here.
Great.
Now, I'd like to kind of take my wedge and just kind of smush it a little bit till I have more or less an oval shape. Now I'll take some bench flour. Now we want to roll these into a 10 by 8 inch oval.
Okay.
I just like to keep moving it around. We don't want to go less than 1/8 of an inch thick because we do need to still pick this up and transport it. So now that we've got our dough rolled out, we can take a serving of our filling and plop it right in the middle.
Mm-mm-mm.
Now we'll take some water.
Okay.
And you can use a brush if you want, or you can just use your fingers. And we're just going to run along the outside. All right, now we're going to take the shorter side and we're going to fold it over and meet the other side. And then go ahead and press the dough together. And you can try to press out any excess air too. So then once we have it sealed, we can take your paring knife, or if you have a pizza roller or a pastry cutter, and we're just going to trim it. Okay, now that we have sealed, we're going to crimp.
All right.
A fork is a great crimp. It's one of the easier crimps to do, and that's what we're going to do here. Doesn't it look pretty?
Looks lovely.
I have a rimmed baking sheet that I've lined with some parchment paper, and we're going to very carefully and gently pick up our pasties. Perfect. But we're going to scooch it up a little bit. So we'll have 2 rows of 3 when we finish these. Look what we did.
These look positively professional.
So I'm just going to cut a 1-inch vent on the top of each of the pasties.
Okay.
And we're going to add an egg wash. I have 1 large egg, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of water just to loosen it up, and use my favorite tiny little whisk. And now we brush our happy little meat pies. The oven's heated to 375 degrees. And we're going to bake these until they're golden brown and until the filling starts to bubble and come out of the vent a little bit. That's going to take about 45 minutes, and we're going to rotate them halfway through baking. They look so good, and you can see that the filling is kind of bubbling in the vents. That's good. All right, so I'm just going to transfer these to a wire rack because we want them to cool.
I mean, these looked adorable going into the oven. They look even better now.
Now we have to give these 10 minutes to cool, and then we can sample. You've been so patient.
I've kept watch this entire time of those pasties.
Well, I'm not even going to ask if I can serve you.
Thank you. All right, instructions for how to eat pasty.
Well, it is a hand pie.
All right, I want to see what's in there, so I'm just going to cut it right down the middle so I can really get a good view. Look at that. Now, the vegetables inside there are super tender. It's really holding together. It's cohesive. But I got to tell you, there's a rich gravy in there. The beef is succulent, perfectly cooked. Now, I see this red concoction here.
So, traditionally, it is sometimes served with ketchup. So add a little pizzazz.
These are the perfect pasties. You're the pasty queen.
Thanks, Bridget.
For full episodes of your favorite cooking shows, head over to ATK's Full Episodes channel on YouTube. You can stream complete seasons of America's Test Kitchen, Cook's Country, and more. See you there.